Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Spiritually Aligned, a podcast designed to support women who are on their journey of awakening. However, over the next several months, I'm going to be dedicating this space to supporting and guiding the divine feminines who are on the twin flame journey. Together, we'll dive into various aspects of this journey so you can begin to peel back the layers and rediscover who you are, along with aligning to your inner knowing and truth regarding your twin flame journey. By doing so, you'll begin to create not only a loving and compassionate journey for yourself, but for your beloved as well. I invite you to join me in this week's episode as we begin diving into understanding how energy healing can support you on your twin flame journey. And if you're new here, I want to welcome you and I want to introduce myself. I'm your host, Melissa. I'm a spiritual guide. I'm a Reiki master. I transmute energy multidimensionally for myself, for the planet, and for others. And I'm a 3/5 emotional projector. And what that means is my soul loves, and I mean loves, to experience all that it can in life. And I literally take the long way to wherever it is I'm going. And I get to learn what works and what doesn't work. And my twin flame journey is no different. Because for those of you that have been following me, have known I've been on this journey for about 7 years. And within the last 6 months, I was able to come into inner union. And my goal is to help support you and guide you to inner union so it doesn't have to take 7 years to do so. And I'm also the divine feminine in my twin flame connection. And as most of you divine feminines know, we are usually the chaser in the dynamic. And I've shifted away from being the chaser to fully embodying my truth and who I am meant to be in this lifetime. So let's get started in this week's episode. For my whole entire life, since I was little, I knew I was here to help bring healing to others. I knew at a very young age I could read energy. I could see things about people without them having to say anything to me. And because I was born into a family that didn't really believe these things, I quickly started shutting down these gifts. And this happened by the age of 8. But yet, there was always this soft whisper reminding me that I was here for more. And that I was here to bring healing to as many people as possible. But what I've learned on my journey is no fault to their own. Like, most people lack the understanding of what and how energy healing works. And in this portion of this segment, I want to talk about energy healing. I want to bring some awareness to it. And I want you to bring some understanding of how this can help support you on your journey. And despite being a healer and knowing that I was a healer in this lifetime, I was actually running from energy work. When I started awakening, my first 3 years, like literally Reiki was chasing after me. I couldn't escape it. It was everywhere. It would keep popping up on my YouTube homepage. My friends were talking about it. I would see it everywhere. And it wasn't until I had this deep knowing through a conversation that I had with somebody else that I needed to seek out Reiki from someone else. And what actually happened on the way to my very first Reiki healing session, my hands began to experience this energy flowing from it. And it was quite warm, and it actually felt kind of weird. And what I didn't realize was this woman that was sitting next to me on the bus was drawing that energy from me. And when I got to the session, the Reiki healer asked me what it was that I wanted to work on. And I told her. And I told her also to my experience on the way here and the knowing that I had that I was here to be a healer as well. And she said yes. She was like, yes, you are. And she's like, we can work on that as well. But what most people don't know about my very first Reiki healing session is I actually blocked it all. I didn't want to open up and receive any of it, despite the guidance and the support that I was receiving from the healer that I was seeing. And the healer that I saw, it was a very is an incredible healer. So it was nothing on her part. It was on me. Because the way Reiki energy works is I am just a channel. I open up to receive the energy of Reiki through me, and you as the recipient are pulling that energy from me. And the more open that you are to receiving it, the more that you draw from me. And with Reiki, one of the beautiful things about Reiki is it can do no harm. Reiki has its own consciousness and knows exactly where it needs to go to support you in what is meant to be for your highest good. And so in regards to working on something very specific, say abandonment, for example, Reiki knows exactly where it needs to go to help support you in healing the abandonment that is within you. The beautiful thing about Reiki as well is we can go to past experiences in this life and send Reiki to that to bring healing to those situations. We can go to past lives to help you heal some things that occurred in past lives between you and somebody else, or something that you are carrying in from a past life, and just really so much more. And one of the beautiful things about energy healing is that energy healing is not bound by any time or space. And when you start to understand that everything that could possibly happen has already happened, and that everything that has occurred already to this point in time in our journey is happening all at the same time, you start to realize that you can start manipulating the energy to create a different reality than what you live in. And I know what some of you are thinking is like, oh, I could use energy healing to do this for me, or to heal this part without me having to even sit with it or recognize it. Here's the thing is energy healing is not about spiritual bypassing. And if you have been following me for any length of time, you know that my secret sauce to creating inner union and creating a life that I love for the very first time in my existence is a combination of inner work and energy work. One of the beautiful things about energy healing, because it gets to the source, like the root of it, is it allows us to release that trapped energy that's in our body. And inner work also helps us do that as well, but not to the extent of energy work, which is why I always say we need to do some inner work, become aware of things that are in our reality so we can get even more precise with your energy healing session. The one thing to remember and to keep in mind is that because Reiki is always set for your highest good, is that Reiki may need to bring healing to something else before we can actually access what it is that we're truly wanting to heal. And what's beautiful is because everything is energy, your soul and your higher self are communicating with me, sending me messages about specific things, giving me guidance about what it is that you're needing to work on, or why something may be happening in your reality. And the one misconception that people have about energy work is they think, oh, it's a one and done. I'm going to go to one energy healing session and I'm going to be healed. Well, I hate to break the bad news to you, but energy healing really doesn't work that way. Because here's why. Is we have this, what I call meat suit that we chose to incarnate in this lifetime, and the ego that we have. It can prevent us from actually releasing things, because we have to remember that our ego, its job is to keep us safe, right? And it's here to protect us. And so it can create blocks within our ego of telling our body not to release certain amount of things because it wants to remain safe. On the flip side of things, we also have this human body, which is extremely intelligent, right? It never forgets anything. All our trauma, all of our wounds are stored within us, in our cells, in our DNA, in our muscles, in our organs, right? And because our body wants to remain in balance, whether energetically, hormonally, whatever it may be, It wants to create balance. And in order to do so, it will only release a certain amount of whatever trauma you're wanting to release and still remain safe. So for example, with me, no matter how much inner work I did around abandonment, I was not able to fully heal the abandonment within me. And it wasn't until I started seeking healing from another healer that I was actually able to release this abandonment within me once and for all. And what we discovered was that this abandonment was passed down for 18 generations in my family lineage. So no amount of work that I would have done internally would have released that because I had no awareness of it. And that's the beautiful thing is energy work helps shine some light on some areas and help us understand why is it that we might have these deep-seated fears or why we're unable to heal a part of us no matter what it is that we do. And if you're wanting to experience some Reiki healing from me or from anyone, be sure to check out on YouTube. If you're wanting to check out some healing sessions that I do on YouTube, make sure you look on the description box down below because I have tons of different videos on YouTube and you can check those out. And so in regards to some things that I think is really important to understand regarding twin flames is as twin flames, we are old souls and we have experienced a lot in our lifetimes. And because we're twin flames, we also have incarnated many times, like lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime with our beloved. And because we have these experiences with them, we can carry in some of the experiences that we've had in past lifetimes into this lifetime. And what a lot of people don't know is that those experiences that we're carrying in can actually impact our connection today with our beloved. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. Some of you have decided at the level of the soul that you're going to carry in certain things and that you need to clear it from the past life in order for the two of you to come into 3D union. So if there are things that you keep working on and no matter how much work that you do and this is still happening between you and your beloved, I would encourage you to book a healing session and allow me to navigate this with you and get down to the root cause of what might be creating that distance between you. Also too, as twin flames, a lot of us chose to incarnate into some really intense family templates, right? We experience a lot of trauma and wounds. We chose lineages that had like these deep generational curses, right? These really strict conditioning and beliefs around many things. We chose to experience that at a level of the soul. And because of that, we have some healing, some self-discovery that we need to do, which is also why it can take us years to heal. Because our twin flame journey, as I've mentioned time and time again, is meant to be an acceleration of our spiritual awakening. But most of us missed that memo. I know I did, and I did not get the memo until a few years ago. But because we have such an immense amount of trauma and wounds, it may take us like years to peel back the layers. And that's one of the beautiful things about energy healing and doing the inner work is that it doesn't need to take years, because when I started investing in myself and started doing energy healing work 4 years ago is when I saw the biggest shifts within me internally and externally. And as most of you know, as twin flames, we share the same consciousness, right? Because we have our higher self. So each of us have a higher self that we have, but then the two of us have one higher self as well that's helping us navigate this journey. And with that being said, we also have to understand that we also share the same chakra system. And if you're new to the word chakra or maybe don't really understand that, I want to dive into that a little bit because it's really important to understand this, because In our energy body, we have chakras, and chakras literally mean like a spinning disc. And it's an energy portal that spins and is connected to specific organs and certain parts of our endocrine system as well. But what begins to happen over our human experience is that emotions, limiting beliefs, wounds, traumas, things like that can actually disrupt the flow of the energy in that chakra. And it can become imbalanced or even overactive. And so it's really important to understand that these energy bodies also help you create the life that you're here to live. And because you share the same chakra system, when you start to balance and align your chakras, you start doing the same for your beloved. I know when I talk about things like that, it can be kind of triggering for some of you. I get it. But we have to remember that we are one and that this journey is really about us and the job that we chose. And for lack of better words, I'm going to use job, because the job that we chose in our dynamic in this lifetime was to be the one that focused mostly on the healing. We were the more spiritual one we decided to experience in this lifetime, where in other lifetimes we might have been the ones caught up in the 3D reality and doing all the stuff that our beloved is doing in this lifetime. And we switch off between those roles, and we switch off between genders as well, which is why sometimes the wounding that we have within, if we're the divine feminine, with the wounding that we have within our inner masculine can actually be from lifetimes where we were a man and we decided to carry those experiences on into this lifetime. And the more that we can align and balance our chakras, the more that we can cultivate and create the life that we are here to live. And coming soon, in the next couple months, I am going to be actually creating a complete chakra alignment series. We're going to deep dive into each chakra to help you understand its purpose and its role that it has in your energy body, but not only that, your physical body. What types of things show that in your 3D reality are saying that it's either overactive or like underactive, like there's an imbalance within that. And what is it that you can do in regards to inner work, but also to energy work to help remove and clear the blockages so you can come more into alignment. And if that is something that's resonating with you, make sure you drop a comment down below so then I can come back and send you the information when it is ready. So let's now get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast in regards to how has energy healing helped me on my twin flame journey. I know you all have been dying to hear this. So first and foremost, one of the things that energy healing has helped me do is help me end the push and pull dynamic between myself and my beloved. And I begin to allow the energy to balance between us. And what I actually discovered in my own self Reiki healing sessions and working with other healers was some of the things that were creating the push and the pull dynamic were things that happened to us in our relationship in this life, but also two experiences that happened in past lives that we both carried in. And so through energy healing, I was not only able to clear the energy between the two of us, but also to within us. So we no longer carried those experiences, and it began to balance out the energy between us. Second of all, energy healing has helped me release so much anger that was stored within me. What most don't know is as a child, I was an angry little child. And that anger that I was feeling as a child was due to me not being able to express my emotions or to speak my truth. I was always told that I was to be seen and not heard, and that I had nothing to be angry about. There's no reason for me to be angry. And as a girl, you should never be angry. And when you express anger, it can be dangerous because of the things that I saw in my 3D reality. So energy work has helped me heal that part of me that was so fearful, and that part of me that was suppressing my ability to speak my truth. And through that, I was able to release the anger from my liver, from my cells, from various places in my body. Because what was happening was that anger that I had built up, I was projecting it out onto my divine masculine. Which is why I always say that if you are angry at your divine masculine, you're really not angry at him. You're angry at some other reason, and you need to get down to that root cause. Through energy work, I was able to remove the wall, the shield that was protecting my heart and closing my heart to really experiencing all that I could in life. And so it brought healing to that part of me. And once I healed my heart and opened my heart, I was able to connect at a deeper level energetically with my beloved. And because I was healing the push and pull dynamic within me, but also too within my dynamic, it also began to help me balance out my inner feminine and my inner masculine. And what I discovered through my own energy healing sessions was that there were actual wounds and traumas that I had experienced between my own inner feminine and masculine, which were blocking me and not allowing me to come into inner union. And so it created this barrier between the two. And so because my beloved is my mirror, he was mirroring back to me through our dynamic that my inner feminine and inner masculine were disconnected. And I knew that if I had experiences between myself and my beloved that were blocking our connection, I knew that intuitively that was happening within as well. And when I received that guidance in a healing session for myself, things really begin to change within me. And as I mentioned, that as twin flames, we carry in certain things into our dynamic that block us from coming into union. I was able to heal some past life experiences that I had with my beloved that were actually impacting me in this way. And for me, I actually had to seek another healer in order to see some of these things, because where I was at the time in my journey, I could only access certain amounts. And that's the thing too regarding our healing journey, is we may only have the ability to access certain things, which is why it's so important to align and to seek support and guidance from somebody outside of your dynamic, because there's no emotion connected to it. And oftentimes energy healers, seers, mediums, Akashic record readers, all those people can access things that you may not be able to see, and intuitively be able to receive some guidance and support you in the ways that you're needing to be supported. But on top of it all, I was also able to use Reiki energy healing to help support and calm my central nervous system, because I grew up in a family where chaos was extremely normal. From the moment that I was conceived, I brought so much chaos into the world. I healed that part of me that believed that life needed to be chaotic, the part of me that believed that I always created chaos wherever I went, but also to heal the part of me that was constantly needing to be in fight or flight response, because that's all that I knew. And once I started healing those parts, I was continuing to able to release with Reiki energy the stuff that's stored in my central nervous system, to create that peacefulness within me and to regulate my nervous system in a really deep way. And literally, when it comes to talking about how Reiki has shifted not only myself, but my twin flame journey. Like, the amount of things that I could talk about is endless. But I wanted to share with you the things that I felt that were the most impactful within me and within my journey, to give you some insight as to what is possible in regards to your experiences with energy healing. And if this is really resonating with you, then I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel and to experience some energy healing that way. And if you're wanting to work on something specific, then check out my description box down below where you can schedule a one-on-one healing session. And I encourage you to do this with something that you have been struggling with for so long. But the one thing that I want to say, whether you work with me or another amazing healer, is go in with the mindset of being open to whatever it is that's going to happen, and to trust in the knowing that whatever is going to occur in the session is always for your highest good, and to let go of any expectation and allow your soul, your body, and the energy healing to do its work and transform your reality in ways that you may not be able to even conceive. And so, my friends, it's such an honor to talk about this, because energy healing is something I'm extremely passionate about and something that has transformed my reality in so many ways. And I know without a doubt it will do the same for you. And so, if you're ever wondering or want some more information on it, please comment down below, or make sure you check out my YouTube. And I'm sending you all so much love and light, and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Until next time.